As the last golden rays of the sun kissed the horizon, the field seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The harvest season had arrived, and with it came the ancient spirits who watched over the crops. These spirits, both gentle and powerful, held the balance between the world of the living and the world of the unseen. In the heart of every harvest festival, there lies a deep, unspoken gratitude for these spirits. They are not mere myths, but sacred guardians who have been honored for centuries. They are the silent protectors of the bounty that feeds us, the unseen hands that guide the growth of the crops, and the whispers in the wind that promise prosperity or warn of trouble. Harvest spirits come in many forms, each one tied to the land and its cycles. Some are gentle and nurturing, like the corn mother who cradles the grains and ensures their growth. Others are more mysterious and unpredictable, like the spirit of the sheaf who is said to roam the fields and watch over the final gathering of the harvest. These spirits carry with them a weight of responsibility that is both awe-inspiring and humbling. Their role is to ensure that the harvest is plentiful and that the cycle of life continues smoothly. They work quietly, often unseen but always felt. When the first green shoots of spring appear, it is their blessing that ensures the seeds will grow. When the time comes to gather the crops, it is their presence that makes the harvest bountiful. Imagine the scene as the harvest moon rises high in the sky, casting its silver glow over the fields. The air is filled with a sense of reverence and anticipation. Farmers and villagers gather, their faces lit with a mix of relief and joy. They perform rituals and offer thanks, knowing that the spirits have guided them through the season. The spirits' influence is seen in the heavy ears of corn, the lush pumpkins, and the ripe apples hanging from the trees. The connection between humans and these spirits is both profound and personal. In many traditions, there is a belief that by honoring the spirits, one can ensure a good harvest for the next season. This relationship is built on respect and reciprocity. The spirits are not to be taken for granted. Their favor must be earned through rituals, offerings, and a deep sense of gratitude. The emotions tied to the harvest are raw and powerful. As families gather to celebrate, there is a collective sigh of relief and joy. The harvest represents the culmination of months of hard work and the promise of sustenance through the winter. The spirits, who have watched over this process, become part of the celebration. Their presence is felt in the laughter of children playing among the haystacks, in the warmth of the community feasts, and in the quiet moments of reflection as the fields are cleared. Each culture has its own unique way of honoring these spirits. In some places, offerings of bread and grain are left in the fields, while in others, elaborate ceremonies are performed to ensure the spirits' continued favor. These practices are more than mere rituals, they are expressions of the deep bond between humans and the natural world. They reflect a belief that everything is connected, that the land, the people, and the spirits are all part of a greater whole. The harvest spirits are also reminders of the fragility of life and the importance of living in harmony with nature. They remind us that the abundance we enjoy is not simply a result of human effort but a gift from forces beyond our control. This awareness brings a sense of humility and respect, qualities that are woven into the fabric of harvest traditions around the world. In the quiet moments of dusk, as the last of the harvest is gathered and the fields rest, there is a sense of peace. The spirits have done their work, and their influence lingers in the air. Their presence is a comforting reminder of the cycle of life, of the connection between the past and the future, and of the enduring bond between humans and the natural world. As the celebration draws to a close, there is a deep-seated feeling of connection to something greater. The harvest spirits, with their ancient wisdom and timeless grace, have guided the way. Their role is a silent one, but their impact is profound and lasting. They are the unseen guardians who ensure that the harvest is a time of joy, reflection, and deep gratitude. In the ancient heart of every culture, the rhythms of the seasons have long been celebrated by honoring the spirits who oversee the harvest. These spirits are not mere figments of imagination but the very essence of humanity's connection with the land. Their origins trace back to times when survival depended on the earth's bounty, and the people's reverence for these forces of nature was both profound and essential. Long before written history, our ancestors felt a deep bond with the earth. They saw the land as a living entity, its health directly tied to their survival. When the crops thrived, it was a sign of favor from the unseen spirits who guarded them. Early societies crafted stories and rituals to honor these spirits, believing that their gratitude and respect would ensure a bountiful harvest. In ancient Mesopotamia, where the first seeds of agriculture took root, the spirits of the harvest were intimately tied to the very cycle of life and death. The Sumerians worshipped deities like Demeter and Persephone, who were not only guardians of the harvest but also symbols of life's cyclical nature. The great goddess Inanna, whose descent into the underworld marked the changing seasons, was revered for her role in ensuring the fertility of the land. Her story, a blend of myth and reverence, reflected the deep understanding that the land needed both care and respect to yield its riches. As civilization spread across the globe, the worship of harvest spirits evolved but remained deeply rooted in the same principles. In ancient Egypt, the goddess Isis was central to agricultural life. Her magic was believed to make the crops grow and ensure their abundance. Farmers would offer their first fruits to her in hope of her favor, believing that she, with her nurturing presence, would bless their fields. In Greece, the harvest was overseen by Demeter, the goddess of grain and agriculture. Her sorrowful search for her daughter Persephone, who was taken to the underworld, was more than just a story, it was a symbol of the changing seasons. When Persephone returned each year, Demeter's joy brought forth the harvest, and her grief marked the time when the earth rested. This myth conveyed the deep understanding that the cycle of growth and rest was governed by forces beyond human control. In the colder climes of ancient northern Europe, harvest spirits were often associated with deities of nature and the wild. The Norse goddess Sif, known for her golden hair, was believed to bless the grain fields with abundance. Her presence was a reminder that the harvest was a gift from the natural world, one that required respect and careful stewardship. The Slavic peoples held a similar reverence for their harvest spirits. The Rusalka, a spirit associated with the water and fields, was believed to be crucial for a successful harvest. Rituals and offerings were made to ensure her favor, reflecting a belief that harmony with nature's spirits was vital for prosperity. In the Americas, indigenous cultures had their own rich tapestry of harvest deities. The Native American tribes honored spirits like the Corn Mother, a sacred figure who was central to their agricultural practices. The Corn Mother was more than just a symbol, she was seen as a living entity who gave life to the crops and sustained the people. Festivals and ceremonies were held in her honor, showing a deep respect for the cycle of planting and harvest that governed their lives. As these traditions spread and mingled over the centuries, they were not erased but transformed. In medieval Europe, the old pagan deities were often absorbed into Christian practices, their names and stories changed but their essence preserved. The harvest became a time of celebration not only for the bounty of the fields but also for the spirit that ensured it. The evolution of harvest spirits reflects a universal truth that human beings have always sought to understand and influence the forces that govern their lives. From the earliest agricultural societies to the present day, the spirits of the harvest have been seen as crucial partners in ensuring the cycle of growth and plenty. They are the silent guardians who watch over the fields, their presence a reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Every culture, in its own way, has woven these spirits into the fabric of its beliefs and practices. They are not just ancient myths, but enduring symbols of the connection between people and the land. Their stories are a testament to humanity's deep respect for the natural world and the forces that shape it. As the seasons turn and the harvest comes in, the spirits remain a living part of the celebration, their presence a poignant reminder of the harmony that sustains life. As the wheel of the year turns, each season brings its own celebration of the harvest, reflecting the profound connection between humans and the cycles of nature. These festivals are more than mere gatherings, they are heartfelt expressions of gratitude and joy, marking the end of a cycle and the promise of the next. In the heart of autumn, the world seems to burst into a kaleidoscope of colors, and with it comes the ancient celebration of the harvest. In ancient Greece, this was the time of the Thesmophoria, a festival dedicated to Demeter, the goddess of grain. Women gathered to honor her, performing rituals to ensure the earth's bounty. They shared stories and offered the first fruits, believing that Demeter's favor was crucial for the next year's crops. This festival was not only a celebration of abundance, but also a heartfelt tribute to the goddess who made the harvest possible. Across the world, in medieval Europe, the harvest festival was a time of great communal joy. Villagers came together to celebrate the end of the agricultural cycle with feasting and merrymaking. The celebrations were marked by games, music, and dances, all done in the spirit of thanking the spirits of the land. The Harvest Home Festival, often held in late September, was especially significant. People would bring in the last sheaf of corn, decorate it with flowers, and place it in the barn as an offering to the harvest spirits. The community's gratitude was palpable as they shared the fruits of their labor with one another, strengthening bonds and celebrating their collective achievements. In the Americas, indigenous cultures have long celebrated harvest festivals with deep respect and vibrant traditions. The Native American harvest festivals, such as the Green Corn Festival, were crucial to their way of life. These festivals, held in late summer and early autumn, were times of thanksgiving for the corn, which was a staple food. The Green Corn Festival was a time for ceremonial feasting, dancing, and renewal. It symbolized not just the harvest but the bond between the people and the land. Through rituals and prayers, the people expressed their gratitude to the spirits and deities who had ensured the harvest's abundance. As autumn fades into winter, the focus shifts to the festival of Sowing, celebrated by the Celts. This ancient festival, marking the end of the harvest season, was a time to honor the dead and the spirits of the land. Samhain was not just a farewell to the old year, but also a celebration of the fruits of labor and the hope for the future. Bonfires were lit, and feasts were held, with the belief that the veil between the worlds was thinnest during this time. It was a moment of reflection and connection with the ancestors who had nurtured the land. Winter brings with it the Yule Festival, celebrated by many cultures including the Norse and later adapted into Christmas traditions. Yule was a time of warmth and light in the darkest days of the year. People celebrated the return of the sun and the promise of spring's eventual arrival. Feasting, singing, and lighting the Yule log were central to the festivities, symbolizing the light that would drive away the darkness and ensure the return of growth and abundance. As the days lengthen and spring arrives, the festival of Imbolc takes center stage. This ancient celebration, observed by the Celts and other cultures, marks the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. It is a time to honor Brigid, the goddess of fertility, and to celebrate the first signs of the coming growth. Candles and lights are lit to symbolize the return of the sun, and people begin to prepare for the new planting season. The festival is a promise of renewal and a reminder of the cycles that govern the natural world. In the summer, the festival of Litha, or Midsummer, celebrates the height of the sun's power. The longest day of the year is marked by bonfires, feasting, and dancing. Litha is a time of abundance, where people revel in the fullness of the growing season. The festival is a tribute to the sun's strength and its role in ensuring the crop's success. It's a time of joy and energy, as the community comes together to honor the peak of the harvest's growth. As the year begins its cycle again, the harvest festivals reflect a deep and enduring connection between humans and the land. These celebrations are more than just seasonal observances, they are heartfelt acknowledgments of the earth's gifts and the spirits who watch over the harvest. Each festival is a vibrant expression of gratitude, joy, and the timeless bond between people and nature. As the leaves turn to gold and the crispness of autumn settles in, the ancient spirits of the Celtic harvest come alive, their presence felt in every rustling leaf and every whispering wind. These spirits are not just figures of mythology but the very essence of the land, embodying the cycle of growth and decay that governs the seasons. Among these revered spirits are Cernunnos and the Green Man, whose stories weave through the fabric of Celtic life. Cernunnos, often depicted with antlers and surrounded by animals, is a powerful symbol of the wild and untamed forces of nature. He represents the spirit of the forest and the abundance of the land. To the Celts, Cernunnos was a guardian of the harvest, ensuring that the fields were fertile and the animals plentiful. His presence was felt most keenly during the harvest season when the fruits of the earth were gathered and the land prepared for the winter's rest. Imagine walking through the ancient woods, the air thick with the earthy scent of fallen leaves. As you wander, you can almost sense the presence of Sustenance watching over the forest with his gentle, yet commanding gaze. The animals of the woods seem to move with purpose, guided by his unseen hand. The berries and nuts that fall from the trees are not just natural gifts, but tokens of his blessing. The Celts believed that honoring Sustenance ensured a good harvest and a balanced ecosystem, a belief rooted in the deep respect they held for the natural world. Then there is the Green Man, a figure whose face is entwined with vines and leaves, emerging from the very heart of the forest. He is the spirit of the green world, embodying the vitality and fertility of nature. The Green Man's face, hidden among the foliage, reminds us that life and growth are always present, even in the most unexpected places. His presence in ancient carvings and folklore signifies the unending cycle of life and renewal, a reflection of nature's resilience and beauty. The Green Man's influence can be seen in the harvest celebrations of the Celts. As the fields were cleared and the crops gathered, the Green Man was honored as a symbol of nature's abundance. His image, often carved into church walls and old buildings, served as a reminder of the deep connection between humanity and the earth. The celebrations were filled with joy and gratitude, a way of giving thanks for the crops that had sustained them throughout the year. Rituals were performed to ensure that the Green Man's spirit remained strong, guiding the land through the winter and preparing it for the new growth of spring. The stories of Sustenance and the Green Man are more than just ancient myths. They are heartfelt reminders of the harmony between humans and nature. They represent the deep bond that the Celts felt with the land, a bond that was both spiritual and practical. The harvest was not merely a time of gathering food, but a sacred act of connecting with the spirits who made it possible. As the harvest festivals approached, communities would gather to honor these spirits with offerings and rituals. They would leave fruits and grains as tokens of their gratitude, believing that these gifts would ensure the spirits' favor in the coming year. The festivals were marked by music, dance, and storytelling, each element a tribute to the spirits who watched over them. The celebrations were not just about the bounty of the land, but also about the community coming together to give thanks. The Celts understood that the harvest was a time of abundance that required acknowledgement and respect. They celebrated with feasts and merriment, their hearts full of gratitude for the spirits who had guided them through the seasons. In the quiet moments of reflection during these festivals, there was a deep sense of connection to the land and the spirits who nurtured it. Sustenance and the Green Man were not distant deities, but active participants in the cycle of life. Their presence was felt in every harvest, every change of the season, and every moment of gratitude. Their stories and their spirits continue to inspire a sense of wonder and reverence. They remind us of the deep bond that exists between humanity and nature, a bond that is celebrated through the harvest festivals and the rituals that honor these ancient spirits. The legacy of Sustenance and the Green Man lives on in the heart of the harvest, a timeless testament to the power and beauty of the natural world. In the quiet of the harvest season, when the fields are golden with ripened grain, the presence of the Corn Mother is felt with profound reverence. She is more than a figure of mythology, she is the heartbeat of agrarian societies, embodying the life-giving essence of the crops that sustain them. The Corn Mother, known by various names in different cultures, represents the spirit of the harvest and the nurturing force behind the crops. She is often depicted as a maternal figure, her body intertwined with the very plants she nurtures. Her role is deeply symbolic, reflecting the intimate relationship between the land and its people. In many Native American cultures, the Corn Mother is honored as a sacred entity who gifts the people with corn, a staple food that has supported them for generations. She is seen as the source of life and fertility, her presence ensuring that the fields yield their abundance. During the harvest, ceremonies and rituals are held to express gratitude for her blessings. Offerings of the first fruits and grains are made in her honor, a way of giving thanks for her continuous support. The rituals dedicated to the Corn Mother are filled with heartfelt significance. Families come together to prepare special foods made from the newly harvested corn, each dish a tribute to her generosity. The corn itself is treated with great respect. It is not just food but a symbol of her enduring presence and care. The harvest is a time for storytelling, where the legends of the Corn Mother are shared, keeping her memory alive and reinforcing the community's connection to her. In these ceremonies, the Corn Mother is often represented by a ceremonial figure or doll made of corn husks and other natural materials. This figure is lovingly decorated and placed in a prominent place during the celebrations. As the community gathers to honor her, there is a palpable sense of gratitude and reverence. The rituals are a way of acknowledging that the harvest is not just the result of human effort but a gift from the Corn Mother herself. In some cultures, the end of the harvest is marked by a special festival where the Corn Mother is celebrated with dances and songs. These festivities are vibrant and joyful, reflecting the community's appreciation for the bounty they have received. The dances are often performed around a decorated cornstalk or effigy of the Corn Mother, symbolizing the connection between the people and the crops. The songs tell stories of her gifts and the blessings she brings, filling the air with a sense of celebration and unity. The role of the Corn Mother extends beyond just the harvest. She is also seen as a guardian of the planting season, ensuring that the seeds are blessed and that the crops will grow strong. Her influence is felt throughout the agricultural cycle, from the planting of the first seeds to the gathering of the final harvest. Her presence reminds the people of the delicate balance between giving and receiving, and the importance of nurturing the land as it nurtures them. In agrarian societies, the Corn Mother's role is also tied to the changing seasons. As the harvest concludes, her presence signifies a time of rest and renewal for the land. The rituals performed at the end of the harvest are not just acts of thanks, but also ways to ensure that the land will be ready for the next planting season. The Corn Mother's influence helps to maintain this balance, ensuring that the soil remains fertile and the cycles of growth continue smoothly. The connection between the Corn Mother and her people is deeply emotional. Her role is not just symbolic but also a living, breathing part of their daily lives. She represents the hope and sustenance that the crops provide, and her presence is a constant reminder of the interdependence between humans and nature. The rituals and ceremonies dedicated to her are expressions of this deep bond, a way of acknowledging the gift she brings and the importance of honoring her in return. As the harvest season unfolds and the fields are cleared, the Corn Mother's spirit remains in the hearts of the people. Her presence is felt in every grain of corn, every shared meal, and every ritual performed in her honor. She is a reminder of the abundance that comes from the land and the importance of nurturing this sacred connection. In the quiet moments of reflection, her influence is a poignant reminder of the life-giving force she represents and the gratitude that accompanies the harvest. As the crisp autumn air settles over the lands, and the fields are painted with hues of gold and bronze, the ancient Norse deities who watch over the harvest come to life in the hearts of those who revere them. Among these revered figures is Sif, a goddess whose connection to grain and the harvest is as profound as it is inspiring. Sif, with her flowing golden hair, is more than a mere figure of myth. She embodies the essence of the harvest and the blessings of the earth. To the Norse people, Sif's golden hair was not just a symbol of beauty, but also a representation of the ripened grain that graces the fields at harvest time. Her name, which means relative or kin, signifies her role as a nurturing and essential figure in their agricultural life. As the time for harvest approached, the Norse would gather to celebrate Sif's gifts with great reverence. Her presence was felt in every ear of grain and every field of ripe crops. Sif's association with the harvest made her an important figure in ensuring the bounty of the land. The people believed that her blessings were crucial for a successful harvest and that honoring her was a way to express their gratitude for the abundance they received. In the quiet moments of the harvest, you could almost sense her presence among the golden fields. The sight of the grain, bending gently in the breeze, seemed to carry a whisper of her name. It was as though Sif herself watched over the land, ensuring that the crops reached their full potential. Her connection to the grain was a reminder of the life-giving force that the earth provides, and her role in the harvest was both sacred and vital. Rituals dedicated to Sif were filled with heartfelt traditions. During the harvest, the Norse would offer the first sheaves of grain to her, placing them in a special place as a token of their gratitude. These offerings were not just symbolic, but were believed to ensure that Sif's blessings continued throughout the year. The people would gather to celebrate with feasts and songs, their joy and thankfulness palpable as they shared the fruits of their labor. One of the most touching aspects of Sif's connection to the harvest was the way her presence was woven into the fabric of daily life. Families would decorate their homes and fields with symbols of grain and wheat, creating a festive atmosphere that honored her role in their prosperity. The fields themselves seemed to come alive with a sense of reverence, as if the very land acknowledged her presence and offered thanks for the gifts she had bestowed. Sif's influence extended beyond just the harvest season. Her role in the Norse pantheon as a goddess of fertility and abundance meant that her blessings were sought throughout the year. The rituals and celebrations dedicated to her were a way of maintaining a connection with the earth and ensuring that its gifts would continue. Her presence was a reminder of the delicate balance between humanity and nature and the importance of honoring this relationship. In the stories of Sif, there is a profound sense of gratitude and reverence for the natural world. Her golden hair, often associated with the ripening of the grain, symbolized the life-giving force of the earth. The tales told about her were not just myths, but reflections of the deep respect the Norse people held for the land and its cycles. Her role in the harvest was a testament to this respect and a reminder of the sacredness of the gifts she provided. As the harvest season came to a close, the Norse people would gather to celebrate Sif's role in their lives. They would share their stories, their gratitude, and their joy, creating a sense of community and connection that was as nourishing as the harvest itself. The celebrations were a heartfelt expression of their appreciation for the land and the deities who watched over it. Sif's presence in the Norse traditions is a touching reminder of the deep bond between humanity and the earth. Her role in the harvest and her connection to the grain reflect a timeless reverence for the natural world and the life-giving force it provides. In the golden fields and the quiet moments of reflection, her spirit continues to inspire a sense of wonder and gratitude, reminding us of the beauty and abundance that the earth offers. As the last light of summer fades and the harvest moon casts its glow over the fields, the ancient Slavic spirits emerge from the shadows, their presence both eerie and profoundly affecting. Among these spirits is the Rusalka, a figure whose influence on harvest practices is both mysterious and deeply rooted in the land's folklore. The Rusalka is often depicted as a beautiful woman with long, flowing hair, her appearance both captivating and haunting. She is a water spirit, associated with lakes and rivers, but her connection to the harvest is deeply intertwined with the rhythms of nature. According to Slavic tradition, the Rusalki, plural of Rusalka, are spirits of those who have died young or in tragic circumstances. Their presence during the harvest season is both a warning and a blessing, reminding the people of the delicate balance between life and death. As the harvest season begins, the Slavic people would pay close attention to the waters where the Rusalki were believed to dwell. The spirits were thought to have the power to influence the success of the crops. Local lore suggested that if the Rusalki were not properly appeased, they could bring misfortune, including poor harvests or accidents in the fields. Rituals and offerings were made to honor these spirits and ensure their favor. During the harvest, special ceremonies were held to honor the Rusalki. These ceremonies were held at twilight, the time when the veil between the worlds was thought to be thinnest. The people would gather by the water, bringing offerings of bread and grain. These offerings were meant to appease the spirits and ask for their blessing on the harvest. The rituals were conducted with great care and respect, reflecting the people's deep belief in the power of the Rusalki and their influence on the land's abundance. The presence of the Rusalki during the harvest was also marked by songs and dances. The people would perform traditional dances around the fields and by the water, their movements a way of showing their gratitude and respect. The dances were performed with a sense of reverence, as if the very earth was watching. The songs told stories of the Rusalki and their connection to the harvest, filling the air with a poignant sense of longing and hope. In some regions, the Rusalki were believed to be particularly active during the summer solstice, a time when their influence was thought to be strongest. Festivals held at this time were vibrant with color and music, celebrating the beauty and mystery of the Rusalki. These festivals were a way of acknowledging the spirits' role in the harvest and asking for their continued support. The people's heartfelt participation in these celebrations was a testament to their deep connection with the land and the spirits who watched over it. The influence of the Rizalki on harvest practices extended beyond the rituals and festivals. Their presence was a reminder of the importance of respecting nature and the delicate balance that existed between the human world and the spirit world. The people understood that their relationship with the Rizalki was one of mutual respect and that their actions in honoring these spirits had a direct impact on the success of their harvest. As the harvest came to an end, the people would hold a final ceremony to give thanks to the Rizalki. This ceremony was a time of reflection and gratitude, marking the end of the harvest season and preparing for the coming winter. The offerings of bread and grain were placed at the water's edge, a final gesture of thanks for the abundance they had received. The ceremony was performed with a sense of deep respect, acknowledging the spirit's role in ensuring the land's fertility. In the quiet moments of the harvest season, as the fields are cleared and the last grains are gathered, the presence of the Rizalki lingers in the air. Their influence on the harvest practices is a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness between the land, its people, and the spirits who dwell within it. The rituals and offerings made in their honor reflect a profound sense of gratitude and respect, acknowledging the role that these ancient spirits play in the cycles of life and nature. The lore surrounding the Rizalki and their connection to the harvest is a touching testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the natural world. Their presence, both haunting and beautiful, serves as a reminder of the delicate balance that sustains the earth and the importance of honoring the spirits who watch over it. As the harvest season unfolds, the Rizalki's influence is felt in every grain of corn and every bundle of wheat, a testament to the deep respect and reverence that the Slavic people hold for the land and its sacred spirits. As the earth yields its bounty and the fields overflow with golden grain, the ancient Greek myths of Demeter and Persephone resonate with timeless emotion. Their story is more than a legend, it is a heart-wrenching tale that touches the very essence of human connection to the land and the changing seasons. Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, is a figure of immense power and tenderness. She represents the nurturing force of nature, ensuring that the crops grow and the earth provides. Her love for the land is boundless, and her influence on agriculture is profound. To the ancient Greeks, Demeter's role in the harvest was crucial. Without her, the fields would remain barren and the people would suffer. Her presence was a constant reminder of the earth's abundance and the deep bond between humanity and nature. Persephone, Demeter's daughter, adds a layer of poignant beauty to this story. Her tale is intertwined with the seasons, reflecting the cyclical nature of growth and decay. Persephone's abduction by Hades, the god of the underworld, and her subsequent return to her mother, marks the turning of the seasons. Her journey to the underworld represents the cold, barren months when the earth lies dormant, while her return signals the rebirth of life and the coming of spring. When Persephone is taken to the underworld, Demeter's grief is profound and all-consuming. She wanders the earth in sorrow, her sadness reflected in the withering of crops and the fading warmth of the sun. The fields grow dry and the earth becomes a barren landscape, mirroring her despair. This period of loss and hardship is felt deeply by the people, who experience hunger and struggle as Demeter's sorrow affects the harvest. Her longing for her daughter becomes a universal symbol of maternal love and the impact of loss on the world around us. As Persephone returns from the underworld, the earth begins to awaken. Flowers bloom, crops grow, and life resumes with renewed vigor. The reunion between mother and daughter is a celebration of life's resilience and the promise of new beginnings. This cycle of loss and renewal reflects the changing seasons, marking the passage of time and the eternal connection between the land and its caretakers. The impact of Demeter and Persephone's story on harvest traditions is deeply emotional and profound. Festivals such as the Eleusinian Mysteries, held in their honor, celebrated this cycle with rituals and ceremonies that acknowledged the bond between humanity and the divine forces that govern the natural world. These festivals were not just religious observances but expressions of gratitude and hope. They were a way for the people to honor the gods and ask for their continued blessings on the land. During these festivals, the Greeks would offer the first fruits of the harvest to Demeter and Persephone, acknowledging their role in ensuring the earth's bounty. The celebrations were marked by feasting, music, and dance, reflecting the joy of the harvest and the deep sense of connection to the divine. The rituals were a way of celebrating the cycles of nature and giving thanks for the abundance that the gods provided. Demeter and Persephone's story is a touching reminder of the profound connection between humanity and the natural world. Their tale reflects the highs and lows of agricultural life, from the joy of a bountiful harvest to the sorrow of a barren land. Their influence on harvest traditions underscores the importance of honoring the forces that shape our world and acknowledging the cycles of growth and renewal. In the quiet moments of reflection, as the harvest is gathered and the fields are cleared, the story of Demeter and Persephone remains a poignant symbol of hope and resilience. Their tale, filled with love, loss, and renewal, continues to inspire a deep sense of gratitude and reverence for the natural world. Their legacy lives on in the rituals and traditions that celebrate the harvest and the eternal connection between the land and its people. As the sun sets over the African landscape, casting long shadows across the fields, a powerful sense of connection fills the air. The harvest is a time of great significance in many African traditions, and the spirits and deities who watch over the crops are deeply revered. These figures are more than just myth, they are integral to the agricultural rites that shape the lives of countless communities. In the heart of African harvest traditions is the profound respect for the spirits who ensure the land's fertility. One such spirit is Mbambo, a deity honored by the Bantu people, known for their deep agricultural roots. Mbambo is revered as a guardian of the earth, ensuring that the crops grow strong and plentiful. The people call upon Mbambo with offerings and prayers, asking for his blessings to ensure a bountiful harvest. His presence is felt during the harvest celebrations, where the fields are transformed into vibrant spaces of gratitude and reverence. Among the Yoruba people of West Africa, Shango, the god of thunder and lightning, plays a crucial role in the agricultural cycle. Shango's fierce power is believed to influence the weather, and thus, the success of the crops. During the harvest season, rituals are performed to honor Shango, with the hope that his divine power will bring the right balance of rain and sunshine. The ceremonies are filled with music, dance, and drumming, creating a dynamic atmosphere that celebrates the powerful influence of this deity. Dambala is another important spirit in African harvest traditions, especially among the Vodou practitioners of Haiti. Dambala is a serpent spirit associated with fertility and agriculture. He is revered for his role in ensuring the land is fertile and the crops abundant. The people honor Dambala with offerings of white foods and special rituals that include dancing and drumming. His presence is felt in the vibrant energy of these celebrations, as the community comes together to give thanks for the blessings of the harvest. In the ancient traditions of the Dogon people of Mali, Namo is a deity associated with water and agriculture. The Dogon believe that Namo is a primordial spirit who watches over the crops and ensures their growth. During the harvest, ceremonies are held to honor Namo, where offerings are made to the waters that flow through the fields. These rituals are a way of showing gratitude for the spirit's care and ensuring that the crops continue to thrive. Osenyan, the Yoruba god of herbal medicine and plant life, also plays a significant role in the harvest traditions of West Africa. Osenyan is revered for his knowledge of herbs and plants, which are crucial for both health and agriculture. During the harvest season, the people honor Osenyan with rituals that include offerings of medicinal herbs and plants. These ceremonies reflect the deep connection between the land, its bounty, and the health of the community. In the traditions of the Akan people of Ghana, Asasia, the earth goddess, is honored during the harvest. Asasia is believed to be the mother of the land, providing nourishment and fertility. Her influence is celebrated with rituals that include the first fruits of the harvest, which are offered to her in gratitude. The ceremonies are filled with communal feasting and storytelling, reflecting the importance of honoring the earth and its blessings. The harvest rites in African traditions are not just about celebrating the crops, but also about acknowledging the spirits who make the harvest possible. The rituals are filled with heartfelt gratitude and respect, creating a deep sense of connection between the people and the divine forces that shape their lives. The celebrations are a testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the natural world, where the presence of the spirits is felt in every moment of joy and reverence. As the harvest season unfolds, the spirits and deities of African traditions continue to inspire and guide the people. Their presence is a reminder of the deep connection between the land and its caretakers and the importance of honoring the forces that sustain life. The vibrant energy of the harvest celebrations reflects this profound respect and gratitude, creating a poignant sense of unity and connection that transcends time and place. As the golden hues of autumn spread across the land, the spirits of the harvest come alive in the traditions of indigenous American cultures. These spirits, deeply revered and respected, hold a sacred place in the lives of many North and South American tribes. Their roles in the agricultural cycle are not just mythical, they are integral to the success of the harvest and the well-being of the people. In the northern reaches of North America, the corn mother or white buffalo calf woman of the Lakota Sioux is a revered figure whose presence is deeply felt during the harvest. The corn mother is seen as a life-giving force, embodying the spirit of the crops that sustain the people. Her story is one of creation and nourishment, with her gifts ensuring that the land remains fertile and the harvest plentiful. Each year, the Lakota people honor her with ceremonies that include offerings of corn and special dances, expressing their gratitude for her vital role in their lives. Further to the east, the Iroquois have a rich tradition centered around the three sisters: corn, beans, and squash. These crops are not just staples of their diet, but are also considered gifts from the spirits. The Iroquois believed that these three crops were taught to them by the corn spirit, who embodies the essence of the harvest. During the harvest season, the Iroquois hold the Green Corn Festival, a time of feasting, dancing, and giving thanks to the spirits that ensure the crop's abundance. This festival is a heartfelt celebration of the relationship between the people and the spirits that nurture their land. In the Southwest, the Hopi people honor Masa, the spirit of the dead and guardian of the earth. Masa's role in the harvest is crucial, as he is believed to be responsible for the fertility of the land and the success of the crops. The Hopi celebrate with ceremonies that include the Kachina dances, where masks and costumes represent the spirits that watch over the harvest. These dances are performed with great reverence, expressing the Hopi's deep connection to Masa and the sacred nature of their crops. Traveling to the south, the Inca civilization in the Andes revered Pachamama, the Earth Mother. Pachamama is considered the source of all life and fertility, and her role in the harvest is both powerful and nurturing. The Inca celebrated her with elaborate festivals that included offerings of llama fetuses, chicha, fermented corn drink, and other gifts. These rituals were a way of expressing gratitude for the land's abundance and ensuring that Pachamama's blessings continued. The bond between the people and Pachamama was profound, reflecting a deep respect for the earth and its cycles. In the Amazon basin, the Yanomami people honor Paua, the spirit of agriculture and fertility. Paua is believed to dwell in the lush rainforest, where he nurtures the plants and ensures their growth. The Yanomami hold ceremonies to honor Paua, including dances and offerings of fruits and vegetables. These rituals are a way of showing gratitude and maintaining a harmonious relationship with the spirits that sustain their agricultural practices. Throughout North and South America, the role of harvest spirits is a powerful testament to the deep connection between humanity and the natural world. The rituals and ceremonies held in their honor are filled with heartfelt emotion and respect, reflecting a profound understanding of the interdependence between the people and the land. The harvest is not just a time of gathering crops, but a sacred period of honoring the spirits who ensure the land's fertility and abundance. As the harvest season unfolds, the presence of these spirits is felt in every aspect of the celebration. The dances, offerings, and festivals are a way of expressing gratitude and acknowledging the sacred relationship that exists between the people and the spirits who nurture their land. This bond is a poignant reminder of the enduring connection between humanity and nature, a connection that is celebrated with deep reverence and heartfelt joy. As the sun sets on the lush landscapes of Asia, the harvest season becomes a time of reverence and celebration. Across China, Japan, and India, deities and spirits linked to agriculture are honored with deep gratitude and rich traditions that resonate through centuries. Their stories are woven into the fabric of the harvest, embodying the profound relationship between humanity and the land. In China, the figure of Shen Nong, the divine farmer, stands at the heart of agricultural reverence. Shinnong, often depicted with a plow and a bundle of herbs, is a legendary emperor known for teaching the people how to cultivate crops and use medicinal plants. His story is one of self-sacrifice and deep care for the well-being of his people. He tasted various herbs to discover their properties, enduring great suffering to ensure the health and prosperity of his people. Each year, as the harvest approaches, offerings are made to Shinnong in gratitude for his gifts. The rituals involve presenting the first fruits of the season to him, a symbol of respect and acknowledgement of his vital role in ensuring the land's bounty. In Japan, the goddess Inari, revered as the deity of rice and agriculture, holds a special place in the hearts of many. Inari is often depicted with foxes, which are believed to be her messengers. The rice fields are meticulously tended to with Inari's blessings in mind, and her shrines are adorned with thousands of vermilion torii gates that symbolize the flow of divine favor. During the harvest season, festivals dedicated to Inari involve offerings of rice and sake, accompanied by dances and prayers. These celebrations are filled with joy and gratitude, reflecting the deep respect for Inari's role in providing sustenance and abundance. In India, the goddess Lakshmi embodies the spirit of prosperity and abundance, extending her blessings to the harvest. Lakshmi, often depicted with golden coins and surrounded by rice and grains, is worshipped with devotion during the festival of Pongal in Tamil Nadu and Makar Sankranti in various regions. This harvest festival involves cooking new rice in a pot and offering it to Lakshmi as a mark of gratitude for her blessings. The ceremonies are vibrant, with families coming together to prepare special dishes, sing traditional songs, and decorate their homes. The celebration of Lakshmi during the harvest is a poignant reminder of the importance of gratitude and the divine connection to the land. The goddess of the harvest in various Indian traditions is often honored with rituals that highlight her role in ensuring a successful crop. Festivals like Onam in Kerala are dedicated to celebrating the harvest with grand feasts and vibrant floral decorations. During Onam, people prepare a special meal called Anasadya, which includes a variety of dishes made from freshly harvested ingredients. This festival is not just a celebration of the crops, but also a reflection of the deep-seated connection between the people and the goddess who blesses their land. Across these diverse cultures, the reverence for harvest deities and spirits reflects a profound respect for the natural world and the forces that sustain it. The rituals and festivals dedicated to these figures are filled with heartfelt emotion, symbolizing the deep connection between humanity and the land. The stories of Shinnong, Inari, and Lakshmi are not just ancient legends, but living traditions that continue to inspire gratitude and celebration. As the harvest season unfolds, the presence of these deities is felt in every ritual and ceremony. The offerings of the first fruits, the vibrant festivals, and the heartfelt prayers all serve as a testament to the enduring bond between the people and the divine forces that ensure their prosperity. The harvest is a time of joy and reverence, a celebration of the land's abundance and the spirits who watch over it with care and love. As the crisp autumn air settles in and the days grow shorter, a sense of magic stirs in the heart of the harvest season. The festival of Mabon, celebrated by modern witchcraft practitioners, is a profound and heartfelt time of balance and gratitude. It marks the autumn equinox, a moment when day and night are perfectly equal, symbolizing harmony between light and dark. Mabon is more than just a celebration of the changing seasons, it is a deeply emotional and spiritual occasion. It resonates with the ancient rhythms of nature, reflecting a time of transition as the earth prepares for the quieter, more introspective months of winter. This festival is a time to honor the abundance of the harvest and to give thanks for the gifts that the land has provided. The spirit of Mabon is woven into every ritual, every prayer, and every celebration. At the heart of Mabon is the figure of Madron, an ancient goddess of the harvest and the underworld. Madron embodies the essence of the autumn season, representing the cycle of life and death, growth and decay. Her presence during Mabon is a poignant reminder of the natural balance that governs the world. As the leaves turn and fall, Madron's spirit is felt in the crisp air and the rich, earthy sense of the harvest. Her influence brings a sense of reflection and gratitude as the community comes together to celebrate the season's bounty. During Mabon, the rituals often center around the theme of balance and renewal. Altars are adorned with the fruits of the harvest: apples, grapes, nuts, and grains, symbols of nature's abundance. These offerings are made with a sense of reverence and appreciation for the land's generosity. Candles in rich autumn colors, such as deep red, gold, and orange, are lit to honor the changing light and to invite warmth into the home. Each candle represents the fleeting light of the season and the promise of its return. Another significant figure associated with Mabon is the Green Man, a symbol of rebirth and the spirit of nature. The Green Man, often depicted with a face surrounded by leaves and vines, represents the cycle of life and death. His presence during Mabon is a powerful reminder of the ongoing connection between humanity and the natural world. The Green Man's spirit embodies the abundance of the harvest and the promise of renewal that follows the darker months of winter. His image is often incorporated into Mabon celebrations through decorations and rituals that honor the natural world and its cycles. The emotional depth of Mabon is also reflected in the communal activities that take place during the festival. Families and friends gather to share meals, tell stories, and express their gratitude for the year's harvest. The food prepared for Mabon is rich and hearty, featuring seasonal ingredients that reflect the earth's gifts. Each dish is made with love and respect, as a way of honoring the spirits and the land that has provided so much. Mabon is also a time for personal reflection and setting intentions for the coming months. The balance of the equinox offers a unique opportunity to pause and consider one's place in the world. Many people use this time to reflect on their personal growth, to acknowledge their achievements, and to set goals for the future. The rituals performed during Mabon often include quiet moments of meditation and introspection, allowing individuals to connect deeply with their inner selves and with the energies of the season. The festival's significance is felt not only in the rituals and ceremonies, but also in the spirit of gratitude that pervades the season. Mabon is a time to give thanks for the abundance of the harvest and to appreciate the beauty of the changing world. The community's shared sense of appreciation and respect for the natural world creates a powerful, collective energy that enhances the celebration. As the sun sets on the autumn equinox, the spirit of Mabon continues to resonate in the hearts of those who honor the festival. The sense of balance, gratitude, and renewal experienced during this time leaves a lasting impression, inspiring a deep connection to the natural world and a renewed appreciation for the cycles of life. In the heart of medieval Europe, as the leaves turned golden and the fields were ready for harvest, an ancient and poignant transition unfolded. The land, long steeped in pagan traditions and reverence for harvest spirits, began to weave these old customs into the fabric of Christian practices. The deep-seated respect for nature and its cycles, once celebrated through pagan rituals, gradually found a new expression in the emerging Christian traditions. Among the most cherished figures of pre-Christian Europe was Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture, who had long been associated with the fertility of the earth and the abundance of the harvest. Ceres was celebrated with great reverence, her presence felt in every grain of wheat and every fruit of the vine. Her festivals, marked by offerings and feasts, were a time of joyous celebration and thanksgiving. As Christianity began to spread through Europe, the essence of Ceres' role was not erased but transformed. The joyous festivals of Ceres evolved into Christian harvest celebrations, with many of her symbols and rites seamlessly integrating into new traditions. As the Christian Church took root, it adopted and adapted many of these harvest customs. The ancient pagan practices of celebrating the harvest were now infused with Christian meaning, creating a new tapestry of rituals that honored both the divine and the earth. The Harvest Festival, a time of giving thanks for the bounty of the land, became a central part of Christian worship. The grain that once symbolized Ceres now represented the blessings of God, and the harvest feasts became opportunities to express gratitude to the Christian God for the gifts of the earth. In the rural communities of medieval Europe, the figure of the corn dolly emerged as a poignant symbol of the harvest. This simple yet powerful figure, made from the last sheaf of grain, was carefully fashioned into a doll and kept as a charm to ensure future fertility of the land. Originally, the corn dolly was a way to honor the ancient spirits of the harvest, but over time, it took on a new significance. It became a symbol of thanksgiving, representing the abundance of the harvest and the promise of continued prosperity. The corn dolly's presence in Christian harvest rituals was a gentle reminder of the land's enduring gifts and the deep-rooted traditions that honored these gifts. The medieval practice of Plough Monday, celebrated at the beginning of the year's plowing season, also reflects this blend of pagan and Christian influences. Traditionally, this day was marked by rituals to bless the fields and ensure a good harvest. As Christianity took hold, Plough Monday became a time for feasting and celebration, with Christian prayers and blessings woven into the fabric of the old rites. The communal spirit of the day, filled with merriment and gratitude, mirrored the ancient pagan practices of giving thanks to the harvest deities. The transition from pagan to Christian harvest customs was not always smooth, and many ancient traditions faced opposition. Yet, the deep connection to the land and its cycles persisted, finding new forms of expression within the Christian framework. The celebration of the harvest, a time of joy and thanksgiving, continued to be a deeply emotional experience, reflecting a profound respect for nature's abundance and the divine's role in providing for humanity. In the medieval village, the harvest was a time of coming together, a moment when the community's hard work and collective efforts were celebrated. The rituals that had once honored pagan deities now became a testament to the resilience and adaptability of human traditions. The harvest festivals, with their blend of old and new, reflected a continuity of belief and a shared sense of gratitude for the land's bounty. As the harvest season drew to a close, the spirit of the ancient deities lived on in the Christian practices that had absorbed them. The deep-rooted respect for the land and its cycles, once celebrated through pagan rituals, continued to be honored in new ways. The medieval harvest, with its rich tapestry of tradition and transformation, was a poignant reminder of the enduring connection between humanity and the earth, a connection that transcended time and belief. As the leaves turned fiery red and the crisp autumn air settles in, contemporary witches gather to celebrate the harvest season with a reverence and joy that echoes ancient traditions. This time of year, known as Mabon in modern witchcraft, is more than just a nod to the changing seasons. It is a profound celebration of the harvest and the spirits that guide it. In the heart of modern witchcraft, harvest spirits are honored with deep gratitude and love. These spirits, which once guided ancient farmers and herders, continue to play a significant role in the rituals and practices of contemporary witches. Each harvest season is marked by a series of heartfelt ceremonies that honor the spirits of the land and give thanks for the abundance received throughout the year. One of the most cherished practices during this time is the creation of harvest altars. These altars are carefully adorned with the fruits of the season, apples, pumpkins, grains, and nuts, each representing a gift from the earth. The process of decorating the altar is a deeply personal and emotional experience. Witches take great care in arranging these offerings, each placement reflecting their appreciation and respect for the land's generosity. Candles in shades of gold, orange, and deep red are often lit, casting a warm glow that symbolizes the fading light of summer and the approach of the darker months. The spirit of Ceres, the Roman goddess of agriculture, is honored with special rituals that celebrate her role in providing for humanity. Modern witches might invoke her name in their prayers, offering thanks for the food on their tables and the health of their families. This invocation is not merely a ritual but a heartfelt expression of gratitude, acknowledging the ancient traditions that have been carried forward into contemporary practices. Another important figure in modern witchcraft is the Green Man, a symbol of nature's cycles and the rebirth that follows the harvest. The Green Man's image, often depicted with a face surrounded by leaves and vines, is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of life and the natural world. Witches might craft Green Man masks or decorations to honor his spirit, using these symbols to celebrate the cycle of growth and renewal. The Green Man's presence during Mabon is a touchstone for reflection and gratitude, a way to connect with the natural rhythms that govern life. Harvest festivals within modern witchcraft are a time of community and shared celebration. Witches gather to share meals prepared with the season's bounty, often incorporating traditional dishes that reflect the flavors and textures of the harvest. These meals are more than just feasts, they are a way to come together in unity and appreciation for the land's gifts. During these gatherings, stories are shared, songs are sung, and prayers are offered to honor the spirits of the harvest. One of the most moving aspects of modern witchcraft during the harvest season is the ritual of gratitude. Witches often write letters of thanks to the spirits of the harvest, expressing their appreciation for the abundance they have received. These letters are then placed on the altar or buried in the earth, symbolizing a direct communication with the spirits and a tangible act of acknowledgement. This ritual serves as a powerful reminder of the deep connection between humanity and the natural world, and the importance of giving thanks for the gifts that sustain life. Harvest-themed spells and rituals are also a significant part of contemporary witchcraft. These rituals might include spells for prosperity, abundance, and growth, drawing on the energies of the harvest season to manifest positive changes in one's life. The intention behind these spells is to harness the powerful energies of the season to bring about personal and collective growth. Each spell is crafted with care and reverence, reflecting the deep respect for the spirits and the land. As the harvest season progresses, the transition from light to dark is also honored. Witches may perform rituals that mark the end of the growing season and prepare for the quieter, more introspective months of winter. These rituals are a way of acknowledging the cycles of life and the balance between growth and rest. They serve as a reminder of the natural rhythms that govern the world and the importance of aligning oneself with these rhythms. In modern witchcraft, the celebration of the harvest season is a deeply emotional and heartfelt practice. It is a time to honor the spirits of the land, give thanks for the abundance received, and connect with the natural world in a meaningful way. The rituals and practices of contemporary witches reflect a profound respect for the ancient traditions and a deep appreciation for the cycles of nature. As the harvest season draws to a close, the spirit of gratitude and celebration continues to resonate, leaving a lasting impression on all who partake in these sacred practices. As the harvest season unfolds and the days grow shorter, ancient practices come alive, connecting people to the land and its spirits in profound ways. Harvest rituals and offerings are more than just traditions, they are heartfelt acts of gratitude and respect for the earth's abundance. These practices, rooted in ancient wisdom, continue to touch the soul and honor the spirits that guide and nurture the harvest. At the heart of harvest rituals is the creation of sacred altars. These altars are lovingly adorned with the fruits of the season, plump pumpkins, shiny apples, and golden grains. Each item is chosen with care, representing the bounty of the land and the spirits who have blessed it. The process of setting up the altar is a deeply personal act, filled with intention and reverence. Candles in rich autumn colors, deep oranges, reds, and golds, are lit to symbolize the fading light of summer and the warmth of gratitude. The glow of these candles creates a comforting ambience, reflecting the season's shift and the heartfelt appreciation for the harvest. Offerings play a central role in harvest rituals. These offerings are not just symbols but heartfelt gifts to the spirits that oversee the harvest. Traditional offerings might include freshly baked bread, a simple yet profound symbol of the earth's sustenance. A loaf of bread made from the first grains of the season carries the essence of the harvest and serves as a tangible gift of thanks. Apples, with their crisp sweetness, are often included as well, representing the abundance of the season and the promise of renewal. In some traditions, corn dollies are crafted with care and placed on the altar as a symbol of the harvest spirit. Made from the last sheaf of grain, these dolls are created with love and respect, embodying the essence of the harvest. The corn dolly represents the spirit of the grain and is a way of honoring the land's gifts. Once the harvest is complete, the corn dolly might be kept until the next planting season, serving as a cherished reminder of the connection between the land and its people. During harvest festivals, community gatherings are a key part of the celebrations. These gatherings are a time for coming together, sharing the fruits of the harvest, and giving thanks. The communal meal, often prepared with the season's bounty, is a heartfelt expression of gratitude. Each dish, from savory stews to sweet pies, is made with care and reverence. Sharing these meals with family and friends strengthens bonds and honors the spirits of the harvest, who have provided so generously. Rituals of gratitude are another important aspect of harvest celebrations. One poignant practice involves writing letters or notes of thanks to the spirits. These notes might be placed on the altar, buried in the garden, or set afloat on a small raft. The act of writing down one's gratitude and offering it to the spirits is a deeply emotional and personal gesture. It's a way of acknowledging the abundance received and expressing heartfelt appreciation for the land's generosity. Blessing the fields is a tradition that connects the harvest with the cycles of life and nature. In some practices, rituals are performed to bless the fields for the next planting season. These rituals might involve walking through the fields with offerings or performing simple ceremonies that honor the land. The intention is to ensure the continued fertility of the soil and to express gratitude for its gifts. The blessing of the field serves as a reminder of the ongoing relationship between people and the earth, reinforcing the cycle of growth and renewal. Songs and chants are also woven into harvest rituals, adding a layer of emotional resonance to the celebrations. These songs, often passed down through generations, are sung in praise of the harvest spirits and the land. The melodies and lyrics, rich with tradition and meaning, evoke a sense of connection and reverence. Singing these songs together with the community creates a shared experience of gratitude and celebration. Harvest dances are another vibrant part of the celebrations. These dances, often performed in a circle, symbolize the cycles of nature and the joy of the harvest. The rhythmic movement and lively music bring the community together in a shared expression of gratitude and celebration. The dance becomes a physical manifestation of the joy and abundance felt during the harvest season, connecting people to the land and its spirits in a deeply emotional way. In every ritual and offering, there is a profound sense of connection to the earth and its cycles. The harvest season, with its rituals and traditions, is a time to honor the spirits that nurture and guide the land. Each practice, from setting up altars to sharing meals, is a heartfelt expression of gratitude. The emotional depth of these rituals reflects a deep respect for the natural world and a recognition of the enduring bond between humanity and the earth. As the autumn leaves begin to fall and the crisp air settles in, a vibrant tradition comes to life, the harvest dance. It's not just a dance, it's a heartfelt expression of gratitude, a celebration of abundance, and a powerful ritual that connects people with the earth and its rhythms. When the drums start to beat and the music fills the air, the harvest dance begins. It's a joyous, spirited movement that unites the community in a shared celebration of the season's bounty. As the dancers move in time with the music, they become part of a living tapestry, weaving together a story of gratitude, hope, and connection. The circle is a central element in the harvest dance. Dancers often form a circle, moving in sync and creating a sense of unity and continuity. The circle symbolizes the cycles of nature, the changing seasons, the ebb and flow of life, and the interconnectedness of all living things. As they dance, participants feel a deep connection to the earth, their movements echoing the rhythms of the natural world. Every step, every spin, and every clap in the harvest dance carries meaning. The movements are often inspired by the cycle of the seasons, mimicking the growth of crops, the ripening of fruit, and the gathering of the harvest. The dance becomes a living tribute to the land's generosity, a way of honoring the spirits that have blessed the season with abundance. It's a joyful celebration of the fruits of their labor and a heartfelt expression of thanks. In some traditions, the harvest dance includes ritualistic elements. For instance, dancers might carry sheaves of grain or harvest fruits, incorporating these symbols of abundance into their movements. The act of dancing with these items serves as a reminder of the earth's gifts and a way of acknowledging the spirits that oversee the harvest. The dance becomes a sacred ritual, blending movement, music, and symbolism into a powerful expression of gratitude. Community involvement is another key aspect of the harvest dance. It's a time when people come together, setting aside their daily routines to join in a collective celebration. The dance fosters a sense of unity and shared purpose as individuals of all ages and backgrounds move together in harmony. This communal aspect of the dance reinforces the idea that the harvest is a collective achievement, a gift that is meant to be shared and celebrated by all. The music that accompanies the harvest dance is as important as the dance itself. Traditional songs and rhythms often tell stories of the harvest, the land, and the spirits that guide them. The melodies are crafted to evoke feelings of joy, reverence, and connection. As the music swells and the beat quickens, the dancers respond with exuberant movements, their bodies reflecting the rhythms of the earth. The music and dance become intertwined, creating a powerful synergy that deepens the emotional experience of the celebration. For many, the harvest dance is a spiritual experience. It's a moment of transcendence, where the mundane and the sacred merge into a single, vibrant expression of gratitude and joy. As the dancers move, they feel a profound sense of connection to the land, to the spirits of the harvest, and to each other. The dance becomes a form of communion, a way of honoring the sacred rhythms of the earth and expressing thanks for its abundance. The harvest dance is also a time for reflection and renewal. As the season shifts from growth to rest, the dance serves as a way to acknowledge the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. It's a time to celebrate the harvest that has been gathered, to honor the efforts of the community, and to prepare for the quieter months ahead. The dance becomes a ritual of transition, marking the passage from the active, growing season to the reflective, resting season. In every twirl, every step, and every beat, the harvest dance is a testament to the deep connection between people and the earth. It's a celebration of the land's generosity, a heartfelt expression of thanks, and a powerful reminder of the cycles that govern life. As the dancers move together, they become part of a living tradition, a vibrant expression of gratitude and joy that has been passed down through generations. The harvest dance, with its rich symbolism and profound significance, continues to touch the soul and celebrate the sacred rhythms of the earth. When the full moon rises in the crisp autumn sky, casting its golden light over the land, it is more than just a celestial event. It's the harvest moon, a beacon of magic and mystery, a symbol that holds deep significance in witchcraft lore. As the moonlight dances on the fields, it brings a profound sense of connection to ancient traditions and sacred rituals. The harvest moon is special because it's the full moon that occurs closest to the autumn equinox. Unlike other full moons, it shines with a unique brilliance, its light lingering longer in the night, providing an extra glow for gathering the harvest. In the soft, silvery light of the harvest moon, the fields and forests take on a magical quality. It's as if the moon itself is whispering secrets of old, guiding those who listen to the rhythms of nature and the ancient ways. In witchcraft, the harvest moon is celebrated as a time of abundance and gratitude. It marks the culmination of the harvest season, a period of giving thanks for the bounty that has been gathered. This moon is seen as a powerful symbol of prosperity and the rewards of hard work. It's a time when practitioners come together to honor the earth's gifts, perform rituals of thanks, and celebrate the fruits of their labor. The significance of the harvest moon goes beyond mere celebration. It is deeply entwined with ritualistic magic. The moon's light is believed to enhance the power of spells and intentions, making it an ideal time for casting wishes and performing ceremonies. Under the harvest moon, magic is thought to be especially potent, its light amplifying the energies of the earth and the spirit world. This makes it an opportune moment for setting intentions for the coming months and reflecting on the year's progress. Traditions around the harvest moon often include moonlit gatherings. These gatherings are filled with rituals that honor the moon's energy and its role in the harvest. Practitioners might light candles and create altars adorned with autumn's bounty, corn, apples, and pumpkins, symbolizing the earth's gifts. The moonlight itself is used as a focal point for meditation and reflection. As the light bathes everything in its soft glow, it's believed to illuminate the path ahead, offering guidance and insight for the future. In many traditions, the harvest moon is also associated with ancient deities and spirits. It is a time to honor deities of the harvest, fertility, and abundance. Offerings and prayers are made to these beings, acknowledging their role in the growth and prosperity of the crops. This act of reverence helps to strengthen the connection between the earthly and the divine, ensuring that the blessings of the harvest are shared and appreciated. The symbolism of the harvest moon extends to the concept of balance. It represents a moment when the energies of light and dark are in harmony. The bright, full moon is a symbol of the light that guides us through the darkness, offering hope and direction. In witchcraft, this balance is reflected in rituals that seek to harmonize the energies of the earth, the moon, and the practitioner. It's a time to find equilibrium within oneself and in one's surroundings, aligning personal goals with the rhythms of nature. Ancient lore often describes the harvest moon as a magical time when the veil between worlds is thin. This belief adds an extra layer of mystique to its significance. Under the light of the harvest moon, the boundaries between the physical world and the spiritual realm are thought to be less defined. This makes it an ideal time for communicating with spirits, seeking guidance from ancestors, and connecting with the unseen forces that influence our lives. The moon's light is believed to facilitate these connections, making it a powerful tool for spiritual exploration and insight. As the harvest moon rises and casts its golden light across the land, it inspires a sense of wonder and reverence. It's a reminder of the deep connection between humanity and the natural world, a symbol of the cycles that govern our lives. For those who practice witchcraft, the harvest moon is more than just a celestial event. It's a time of profound spiritual significance, a moment to honor the earth's abundance, celebrate the harvest, and tap into the magical energies that the moon so generously provides. When we think of harvest, our minds often turn to the bright, warm days of gathering crops and celebrating abundance. Yet, lurking in the shadows of these joyous times are the spirits of the underworld, whose presence is deeply woven into the tapestry of harvest traditions. Their role in these ancient practices is a profound reminder of the delicate balance between life and death, growth and decay. The underworld, often seen as a place of darkness and mystery, is paradoxically intertwined with the cycles of nature that govern the harvest. In many cultures, the deities and spirits that dwell in the underworld play a crucial role in the cycle of life that sustains our crops. Their influence is felt in the very soil that nurtures our fields and in the rhythms of the seasons. Take the story of Persephone, the Greek goddess who spends part of each year in the underworld. Her annual return from the realm of the dead marks the beginning of spring and the revival of the earth. When Persephone emerges, she brings life and growth, ensuring that the fields will be fertile and productive. Her time in the underworld is equally important. It represents the necessary period of rest and renewal for the land. This cycle of descent and return is a powerful symbol of the harvest, illustrating how even in the darkness, there is hope and regeneration. In ancient Egypt, Osiris, the god of the underworld, was intimately connected with the growth of crops. Osiris's death and rebirth mirrored the cycles of planting and harvesting. When he was resurrected, it was believed that the soil itself was revived, leading to a bountiful harvest. His story serves as a poignant reminder that life and death are interwoven, each giving meaning and purpose to the other. The cycle of Osiris highlights how the underworld's mysteries are essential to the vitality of the earth. Similarly, the Celtic tradition holds that the spirits of the underworld have a hand in the harvest. The Celtic goddess Hecate, associated with the underworld, also presides over fertility and abundance. Her presence during the harvest is a time to honor the spirits of the deceased and to ask for their blessings on the crops. The connection between Hecate and the harvest underscores the belief that the spirits of the underworld are not just figures of darkness, but also guardians of life's cyclical nature. In Slavic folklore, the rusalka, a spirit of the underworld, plays a role in agricultural rites. These spirits are often linked to the water and the fertility of the land. During the harvest, rituals are performed to appease the rusalki, ensuring that they are satisfied and that the land will continue to be productive. The interaction with these spirits highlights a deep-seated understanding of the need to honor all aspects of the natural world, including those that are hidden from sight. The harvest is not merely a time of reaping what has been sown, it's also a period of acknowledging the interconnectedness of life and death. The spirits of the underworld remind us that every ending is also a beginning. As crops are gathered and the fields are prepared for the winter, there is a recognition that the cycle of life continues. The soil that rests during the winter will again bring forth new life in the spring, just as the underworld's darkness paves the way for renewal. In modern witchcraft, these ancient connections are still honored. Rituals and ceremonies during the harvest season often include invocations of underworld deities and spirits. These practices are a way of maintaining the balance between the seen and unseen, acknowledging the role of these spirits in the fertility of the earth. By recognizing their influence, practitioners show respect for the entire cycle of life and death, honoring the hidden forces that contribute to the bounty of the harvest. The spirits of the underworld, with their associations with death and decay, are also seen as protectors of the harvest. Their presence is a reminder of the natural balance that must be maintained for the land to thrive. Without the underworld's role in the cycle of life, there would be no growth, no harvest, and no renewal. These spirits are integral to the health of the earth and the success of the harvest. As the harvest season unfolds, the presence of underworld spirits becomes a powerful symbol of the deep, unseen connections that sustain life. They remind us that every harvest is a celebration of both the visible and invisible forces that contribute to its success. In their quiet, shadowed realm, these spirits play a crucial role in the cycle of life, ensuring that the land remains fertile and productive. Embracing the full spectrum of the harvest, both the light and the dark, gives us a richer understanding of its significance. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is a profound connection to the cycles of nature, and that the spirits of the underworld are essential to the ongoing story of growth and renewal. Every farmer knows that the success of a harvest is a blend of hard work, the right weather, and, perhaps more mysteriously, unseen forces. Across cultures and centuries, there has been a profound belief that spirits play a significant role in guiding the growth of crops and determining yields. These harvest spirits, often unseen and unheard, are thought to be intimately connected with the land and its fertility. As the seeds are sown into the earth, there is a whisper of hope that the spirits of the harvest will watch over them. Farmers across the world have long believed that these spirits have the power to influence the growth of crops, ensuring a bountiful yield or, at times, a disappointing harvest. Their presence is felt in the rhythm of the seasons, the quality of the soil, and the very essence of the crops themselves. In many cultures, harvest spirits are seen as guardians of the fields. They are thought to dwell within the land, nurturing the seeds and guiding them as they sprout and grow. It is believed that when the spirits are content and honored, they bestow their blessings on the crops, leading to lush fields and abundant harvests. Farmers might leave offerings of food or perform rituals to appease these spirits, seeking their favor and ensuring that the crops will thrive. The belief in these spirits isn't just about rituals, it's a profound understanding of the connection between humans and the natural world. Many cultures have stories of spirits who come to life in the fields, watching over the growing crops with vigilant care. These spirits are seen as part of the natural cycle, working alongside the farmers to ensure that the earth remains fertile and productive. In this way, the relationship between humans and harvest spirits is one of mutual respect and cooperation. There are also tales of spirits who play a more active role in agriculture. In some traditions, these spirits are believed to physically interact with the land, enhancing the growth of crops through their presence. Their influence is thought to be felt in the richness of the soil, the abundance of rain, and the warmth of the sun. The spirits are believed to bless the land with their presence, ensuring that the crops grow strong and healthy. The impact of harvest spirits on crop growth is often seen in the way they are honored. Rituals and ceremonies are performed to show gratitude and respect, acknowledging the spirit's role in the bounty of the harvest. Farmers might light candles, offer food, or make special requests for a good crop. These acts are not just about seeking favor, they are about recognizing the spirit's integral role in the cycle of growth and ensuring that they continue to support the land. The connection between harvest spirits and agriculture also reflects a deep-seated belief in the interdependence of all life. The spirits are seen as part of a larger web of life, influencing and being influenced by the cycles of nature. This belief underscores the idea that everything is connected, that the health of the land, the growth of the crops, and the presence of the spirits are all intertwined. It's a reminder that the success of the harvest is not just the result of human effort, but also of the unseen forces that guide and nurture the land. In addition to their role in crop growth, harvest spirits are also thought to influence the quality of the yield. It is believed that when the spirits are pleased, the crops are not only abundant but also rich in flavor and nutrition. Conversely, when the spirits are unhappy or neglected, the yield may be poor or the crops may lack their usual vitality. This belief highlights the importance of maintaining a positive relationship with the spirits, ensuring that they remain supportive and attentive. As the harvest season approaches, the influence of these spirits becomes even more apparent. The final stages of crop growth are a time of heightened anticipation, with farmers looking to the skies and the earth for signs of the spirits' favor. The presence of the harvest spirits is felt in the rustling of the leaves, the sway of the crops, and the overall vitality of the fields. Their influence is a constant, invisible presence, guiding the growth of the crops and determining the outcome of the harvest. The relationship between harvest spirits and agriculture is a testament to the profound respect and reverence that many cultures have for the natural world. It's a recognition of the unseen forces that contribute to the cycle of growth and a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. The belief in these spirits reflects a deep understanding of the delicate balance that sustains the land and the crops that grow from it. In every harvest, there is a whisper of thanks to the spirits who have watched over the fields. Their influence is felt in every grain of wheat, every ear of corn, and every fruit that ripens on the vine. The presence of these spirits is a reminder of the magic and mystery that lie beneath the surface of the earth, guiding the growth of crops and ensuring that the harvest is a time of abundance and gratitude. There is a certain stillness in the air as the sun begins to set, casting a golden light across the fields. The crops, tall and proud, seem to whisper secrets carried on the wind. This is the time when the veil between the earthly and the spiritual world feels thin. In the silence of the harvest, ancient hands have reached out to something beyond the visible, seeking guidance, answers, and reassurance through divination, seeking the wisdom of the harvest spirits. For centuries, people have turned to these unseen spirits during the harvest to understand the future, to read the fate of their crops, and to make sense of their lives. The air is thick with anticipation, and through ritual and divination, the spirits seem to speak, their messages carried in the earth and the wind, and the shifting patterns of nature. One such method of divination during the harvest involved the casting of grains. As the farmer held the grains in their hands, there was more than just the weight of food for the season, it was the weight of fate itself. The grains would be tossed onto the earth, their pattern falling in shapes that were believed to contain messages from the spirits. The farmer would kneel, heart-pounding, and interpret the meaning of those tiny seeds. A scattered, chaotic pattern could bring fear of misfortune, while a clear, harmonious shape might bring relief and hope for the months ahead. Another powerful form of divination came from the simple act of watching the wind. In a quiet moment, as the breeze moved through the fields, those with open hearts would observe the way the stalks of wheat or corn bent and swayed. It wasn't just wind, they believed it was the breath of the harvest spirits themselves, moving the crops like a dance, each movement imbued with meaning. The direction of the wind, the way the leaves rustled, even the way certain plants seemed to bow could be interpreted as signs. Some said that if the crops bent to the east, the next season would bring abundance, while a turn to the west might warn of hardship. There were also the sacred fires lit at the end of the harvest season. In the flicker and crackle of flames, many saw more than just heat and light, they saw visions. The flames would twist and turn, forming shapes, faces, even animals that were thought to be messengers of the harvest spirits. As people gazed into the heart of the fire, seeking answers to their deepest questions, they would wait, watching closely for any sign, however small, that could offer a glimpse into what was to come. A strong, steady flame brought reassurance, a wavering, flickering one might be a warning. In some cultures, it was not just what was seen that mattered, but also what was heard. During harvest festivals, the crackle of the fire, the whisper of the wind, and the rustling of leaves could be interpreted as the voices of the harvest spirits, speaking in a language that only the most attuned could hear. These sounds weren't mere background noise, they were messages, and those who knew how to listen could find guidance in their depths. An unexpected gust of wind at just the right moment, or the sudden loud snap of a branch, was thought to carry meaning, a warning, or a blessing from the spirits. The appearance of animals in the fields during harvest was another sign people would look to. Certain animals were believed to be messengers of the harvest spirits, their behavior observed with great care. A crow landing in the center of the field might be a dark omen, signaling famine or a poor yield. On the other hand, the sudden appearance of a deer or rabbit was often seen as a good sign, a gentle nod from the spirits that the earth had been kind that year. People would wait and watch for these creatures, their presence stirring both fear and hope, for the future of the crops seemed to depend on their behavior. One of the most powerful forms of divination was tied to the final harvest sheaf. The last bundle of crops gathered from the field was treated with reverence, for it was believed to contain the spirit of the harvest itself. In some traditions, this final sheaf was not cut by human hands but left standing, untouched, so that the spirit could remain in the field to protect it for the next growing season. In other traditions, the sheaf was carefully cut and brought home, where rituals were performed around it to interpret the spirit's message. The shape, size, and health of this final bundle held significance, with every detail carrying the weight of the season's success or failure. Another method of divination during harvest time came through dreams. As the season closed, many believed that the spirits of the harvest would visit them in the night, their presence bringing wisdom and prophecy. The dreams during the harvest were not ordinary, they were seen as messages from the spirits themselves. A dream of bountiful fields, of golden sunlight, would leave a farmer with peace, knowing the future was secure. But a dream of barren land, of storms and darkness, could strike fear into even the most steadfast of hearts. As the harvest drew to a close, there was often a final, solemn ritual to connect with the harvest spirits through water. A bowl of clear water would be placed in the center of the gathering, and as the moon rose high above, its light would reflect on the surface. People would stare into the water, hoping to see images or signs from the spirits. The moon's reflection was thought to carry their messages, and in the ripples of the water, many believed they could glimpse their fate. These ancient practices weren't just about fortune-telling, they were about maintaining a bond with the unseen forces that governed life. The spirits of the harvest, though invisible, were very real in the hearts of those who believed. They were the guardians of the fields, the protectors of the crops, and the givers of life. In the quiet moments just before the harvest, when the air is thick with anticipation, the old stories begin to stir. They are whispered among the fields, carried by the wind that moves through the tall crops, wrapping around the farmers who have worked tirelessly through the season. These are not just tales of the past, but living echoes of the spirits that dwell within the soil, the seeds, and the golden grains. These legends of harvest deities breathe life into the traditions that have shaped the way people honor the land. One of the most powerful tales comes from the ancient Greeks, where Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, ruled over the fertility of the earth. Her story is one of love, loss, and the aching pull of seasons. Demeter's daughter, Persephone, was taken into the underworld by Hades, the god of death. The moment Persephone was gone, Demeter's grief consumed her, and the earth withered under the weight of her sorrow. The crops failed, the fields turned barren, and the people began to starve. It wasn't until Persephone returned to her mother for part of each year that the earth would bloom again, and the harvest could continue. This story speaks to the deep connection between life and death, growth and decay. The seasons themselves were born from this myth, a reminder that the bounty of the harvest is always followed by the stillness of winter, but there is always the promise of spring's return. From the cold lands of the Norse, there is the tale of Sif, a goddess whose long golden hair was said to represent the fields of wheat and barley. One night, the trickster god Loki cut off all her hair, leaving her bare, much like the fields after the harvest is reaped. Sif's sorrow mirrored the emptiness of the earth after its bounty had been gathered. In an effort to right his wrong, Loki sought out the dwarves, who crafted a new head of hair for Sif, spun from gold. When she placed it on her head, her beauty returned, and so too did the promise of abundant crops for the people. Sif's story is a symbol of renewal, of the cycle that begins again after the harvest has been completed, reminding all who labor in the fields that though the land may lie fallow, it will bloom again. In the rich folklore of the Slavic people, there is the legend of the Rusalka, a spirit tied to water, the rivers, and lakes that nourish the crops. Rusalki were said to be the souls of young women who had died too soon, their spirits lingering near the water's edge. During the harvest season, farmers would offer gifts to the Rusalki, hoping to appease them and ensure that the waters would flow, bringing life to the fields. But these spirits were not always kind. If they were angered, they could cause droughts or floods, ruining the harvest. The Rusalka's story is one of balance, a delicate relationship between humanity and the forces of nature that could turn the tide of the season one way or the other. Far across the oceans, in the heart of Native American traditions, is the legend of the Corn Mother. In many indigenous cultures, she is the embodiment of the earth's fertility, the giver of life, and the nurturer of the people. One version of her story tells of a time when food was scarce, and the people were on the brink of starvation. The Corn Mother, moved by their suffering, sacrificed herself, and from her body sprang the first corn, which would sustain the people for generations to come. Each kernel of corn is seen as a gift from the Corn Mother, a reminder of her love and sacrifice. Every harvest, the people would leave an offering of corn as a way to honor her, knowing that without her gift, they would not survive. In the ancient traditions of Japan, there is the story of Inari, the god of rice and fertility. Inari was often depicted as a fox, a creature that could move between the spiritual and physical worlds with ease. During the harvest season, farmers would pray to Inari for a bountiful crop, offering rice and sake in gratitude for the blessings they hoped to receive. Inari's presence was said to be felt in the rustling of the rice fields, a gentle reminder that the spirits were watching over the earth, ensuring that the people would have enough to eat through the long winter months. The fox, with its clever and mysterious ways, became a symbol of both prosperity and protection, a guide for those who worked the land. From the Celtic lands of Ireland comes the legend of Lugh, the god of harvest and light. Lugh was known as a great warrior and protector of the people, but it was his connection to the harvest that made him beloved. Every year, at the festival of Lugnasad, which marked the beginning of the harvest season, people would gather to celebrate Lugh's gifts. It was said that Lugh had given the knowledge of farming to the people, teaching them how to plant and reap, ensuring their survival. The festival was filled with feasting, music, and dance, all in honor of Lugh's guidance and the promise of a successful harvest. His story is one of generosity, a reminder that the earth's bounty is a gift that must be respected and cared for. These stories, filled with gods, goddesses, and spirits, are more than just tales of the past. They are woven into the very fabric of the harvest itself, a reminder that the earth is alive with unseen forces that work alongside human hands to bring forth life from the soil. The deities and spirits of the harvest are both protectors and teachers, offering lessons in humility, gratitude, and the endless cycle of life and death. They are the quiet voices in the fields, the whispers in the wind, the unseen hands that guide the growth of every seed planted. And so, as the fields are cleared and the crops are gathered, these legends live on, passed down from generation to generation. Each story is a thread in the great tapestry of human connection to the earth, a bond that has existed since the beginning of time and will continue as long as the harvest is honored and the spirits are remembered. The field stood bathed in golden light, the air rich with the scent of ripe grain, and beneath it all, a quiet hum seemed to echo, an ancient hum, a whisper of the harvest spirits. They were not just guardians of the crops, but healers too, intertwined with the roots and leaves, with every herb and flower that pushed through the soil. These spirits, long revered by those who worked the land, held the secrets of healing within them, offering their wisdom to those who knew how to listen. For generations, people believed that the harvest spirits held sway over the plants that grew in the fields and forests. These plants were more than food, they were medicine, lifelines for the sick and the suffering. Healers and wise ones would walk through the fields at dawn, feeling the presence of these spirits in the early morning mist, sensing their guidance in every rustle of the leaves. It wasn't just the knowledge of the plants that mattered, it was the connection to the spirits that made healing possible. In the old traditions, healers didn't gather herbs at random. The harvest spirits were said to guide their hands, leading them to the right plants at the right time. It was believed that the spirits would only reveal the healing properties of certain herbs during the harvest season, when the energy of the earth was at its peak. This wasn't just a time of abundance for food, but for the medicines that the land provided. Every leaf and root was touched by the magic of the harvest, carrying within it the power to heal. The power of the harvest spirits wasn't limited to the fields. In forests, where wild herbs grew hidden under the canopy of trees, healers would invoke the spirits before gathering plants. In these moments, the connection between healer and spirit was sacred. They would leave offerings, small tokens of gratitude like a handful of grain, a strand of hair, or a few drops of honey, at the base of the plants, asking for the blessing of the spirits to grant the plants their full healing potential. It was said that only with the blessing of these spirits could the plants reach their true power, capable of curing even the gravest of illnesses. There is a tale from the hills of Ireland about a healer who was guided by the harvest spirits. Her name was Ain, and her hands were gentle but strong. She was known for her ability to heal wounds that no other could, to bring peace to those who were suffering. Ain never gathered herbs without first speaking to the spirits of the land. One autumn, a terrible sickness swept through her village, and no remedy seemed to work. Desperate, she went out to the fields at dawn and knelt among the crops, her heart heavy with the weight of the village's pain. As she prayed, the wind began to stir around her, carrying with it the soft hum of the harvest spirits. In that moment, Ain knew what she had to do. She followed the wind's call into the forest, where she found a patch of herbs she had never seen before, their leaves glistening with dew. She gathered them carefully, her fingers light with reverence. When she returned to the village, she brewed a tea from the herbs and gave it to the sick. Within days, the village began to heal, their fevers breaking, their strength returning. Ain knew that it wasn't just the herbs that had healed them, it was the blessing of the spirits that had infused the plants with their power. Across the world, similar stories are told of harvest spirits and their role in healing. In African traditions, the spirits of the land were believed to have a direct connection to the health of the people. Traditional healers, known as medicine men or women, worked closely with these spirits, asking for their guidance before treating the sick. It was said that the harvest spirits would reveal which plants held the most potent medicine and when to gather them for maximum healing. The connection between healer, spirit, and plant was a sacred bond, one that was honored and respected. In some cultures, it was believed that the harvest spirits could even heal directly without the need for plants or herbs. They were called upon during rituals and ceremonies, where the sick would lie down on the earth, allowing the spirits to enter their bodies and drive out illness. These rituals often took place under the full harvest moon, when the power of the spirits was said to be at its strongest. The harvest moon itself was seen as a healer, its light infused with the energy of the spirits, capable of restoring balance and health. Even today, there are those who feel the presence of the harvest spirits in the plants they gather, and the fields they walk. Modern herbalists and healers, though perhaps disconnected from the old ways, still honor the energy of the harvest. Many believe that the time of year when herbs are gathered affects their potency, that the turning of the seasons imbues the plants with different energies. Though the connection to the harvest spirits may be quieter now, their influence is still felt by those who work with the earth's medicines. The relationship between harvest spirits and healing is one of deep respect and trust. It is a partnership that has existed for centuries, a reminder that healing comes not just from knowledge, but from the heart, from the understanding that we are not separate from the earth, but part of it. The harvest spirits, with their unseen hands and quiet whispers, have guided healers since the beginning of time, helping them to unlock the mysteries of the plants and the earth itself. As the sun sets over the fields, casting long shadows across the land, one can almost hear the soft hum of the harvest spirits, still there, still watching, still guiding those who seek their wisdom. Their presence lingers in every leaf, every root, every plant that grows from the soil, waiting to be called upon when the need arises. The earth is alive with their magic, and through them, the gift of healing continues, passed down through the hands of healers, through the touch of the land, through the power of the harvest. The whispers of the harvest spirits have never truly faded. Even now, in a world that has changed so much from the time of our ancestors, their presence lingers. They are in the air as the leaves begin to turn gold, and the rustle of the wind through the fields, and the first chill that signals the coming of autumn. The connection between these spirits and those who work with them is a bond that stretches across time. It is a reminder that, though we may live in different times, the magic of the harvest remains unchanged, pulsing with the same ancient energy. In modern witchcraft, the harvest spirits are not just a memory, they are a living, breathing part of practice. Witches today call upon these spirits with the same reverence that their ancestors did, feeling their presence in every harvest ritual and every offering made to the land. There is something profoundly comforting in knowing that these spirits have watched over the crops, the people, and the earth itself for centuries, guiding hands and hearts through the cycles of life and death, growth and decay. During the harvest season, witches feel the energy of the spirits most intensely. It is a time of gratitude, a time to honor the earth for all it has given, and to recognize the spirits who make that abundance possible. Offerings of grain, fruit, and herbs are left on altars, at the base of trees, and in the fields as a way to thank the spirits for their gifts. These small acts of reverence are woven into the very fabric of the harvest season, grounding witches in the timeless rhythm of the earth. The harvest spirits are also seen as protectors, watching over the land and ensuring that the crops grow strong and healthy. Witches today invoke these spirits not only to bless their harvests, but to protect them from harm. In a world where nature is often at odds with human intervention, where the balance between the earth and its people seems fragile, the spirits offer a reminder that there is still magic in the soil, that the earth is still alive with ancient power. For many witches, the relationship with harvest spirits is deeply personal. It's not just about the crops or the rituals, it's about connecting to something greater than themselves, something rooted in the very soul of the earth. The spirits become guides, helping them navigate the challenges of life, offering wisdom and strength when it is most needed. This connection goes beyond the physical, it touches the heart, reminding them that they are not alone in this world, that the earth itself is a living, breathing entity that holds them in its embrace. There are witches who speak of dreams where the harvest spirits come to them, offering visions of the future, or guiding them through difficult decisions. These dreams are seen as gifts, messages from the spirits themselves, who use the quiet of the night to communicate with those who honor them. In the stillness of these dreams, witches find clarity and purpose, knowing that the spirits are walking alongside them, unseen but deeply felt. Even in the modern world, where technology and industry seem to dominate, the presence of the harvest spirits can still be felt. They are in the community gardens, where hands dig into the soil, planting seeds with hope and care. They are in the forests, where wild herbs grow untamed, waiting to be discovered by those who know how to listen to the land. They are in the rituals performed at the turn of the seasons, where witches gather to celebrate the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, just as their ancestors did. The legacy of the harvest spirits is not something that can be easily defined. It is felt in the quiet moments, in the pause before a seed is planted, in the reverent silence that follows an offering to the earth. It is in the knowledge that the land is alive with magic, that the spirits are still watching, still guiding, still protecting. Witches today, like those who came before them, are keepers of this ancient relationship, walking the path laid out by the spirits of the earth, honoring their wisdom, and trusting in their power. As the wheel of the year turns, and the days grow shorter, the presence of the harvest spirits becomes even more pronounced. The chill in the air serves as a reminder that the time of harvest is drawing to a close, and with it, the spirits will return to their quiet slumber, waiting for the next cycle to begin. But even in the darkness of winter, their influence lingers. The seeds that have been harvested, the food that has been gathered, all bear the mark of the spirits, carrying with them the energy of the earth and its guardians. For witches, the harvest season is not just about the physical gathering of crops. It is a time of reflection, a time to honor the spirits who have made the harvest possible. It is a time to remember that the earth is a sacred space, and that the spirits who dwell within it are not separate from us, but are a part of us, just as we are a part of the earth. The rituals and practices may have evolved over time, but the heart of the relationship between witches and harvest spirits remains the same. It is a relationship built on trust, respect, and a deep understanding of the magic that exists in the natural world. And as long as there are those who honor the harvest, who speak to the spirits in the quiet of the fields, the legacy of these ancient beings will continue, woven into the very fabric of life, as enduring as the seasons themselves.